Okay, welcome everybody. I have a treat for everyone here today. If you're in the cleaning business, you know who this man is. It is AJ Simmons. Why don't you say hi?
What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Good, man. I'm just going to give you a quick introduction here. Now, AJ is the founder of Cleaning Biz Network, or CBN. Now, this is a platform that has helped thousands of people start and scale a commercial cleaning business. He built a full coaching and software system that includes lead generation, bidding, tools, CRM, and community support for cleaners. From cleaning buildings himself to leading an industry movement, AJ has turned his journey into a blueprint others can now follow. So how was that introduction, my friend?
Man, if I could just take that part, I'm going to send that to my editor and tell him, cut that and put that in front of every podcast episode. I appreciate that.
No worries, man. You've done some absolutely great things. Me and you have been friends for a while. Spoke at your event last year, and I'm going to be at your event this year doing a little bit of talking and helping people out. So I thank you for the invite, but I love the opportunity to come out and obviously introduce you to my team as well too, and the people that are on my channel. So why don't we dive right into it? Before we get going and asking questions, is there anything that you want to say?
Really, number one, thank you for having me on. Obviously, I mean, you didn't have to agree to this, so I appreciate it. And then, obviously, the great intro, it made me feel like, damn, I am doing something a little okay, ain't I? So, appreciate you just having me on. Honestly, that's the first thing. And I'm here to answer any questions you got.
Oh, perfect, man. Thank you. And let's kind of dive into them. So I'll go to the kind of the very first question. We'll lob some softballs at it. And for those of people on my channel who are not listening, what's your story in 60 seconds? How did you get into the cleaning industry and then transition to CBN Network?
That long story, but I'll try to put it in 60. So basically, long story short, fresh out of high school, I worked for a guy named Pops. He had a cleaning company. It was a cleaning franchise, and he seemed to be doing well. So I said, well, what do I got to do what you're doing? He said, you just invest your money and you do it. And I said, you don't have to go to college or anything? He said, no. I said, bet. So I went to the military just to get an enlistment bonus. Took that money as soon as they gave it to me, invested in the cleaning business, and kind of grew from there. And then realized I didn't really want to do the franchise route anymore. Sold the franchise to my brother, got out, started Clean Biz Network. Hopefully, I was under 60 seconds.
Dude, that was great. That was nice and quick. I always blow over time. So it's nice to see somebody get it done. Okay, so that's a nice, quick little story then. So you did cleaning for a while out of a franchise. Then you went to CBN Network. Why CBN and why not start another cleaning business?
That's a great question. So the quick answer to it is because so obviously like a ton of stuff I left out right in that quick introduction, but when I did, so I actually had 3 different franchises because I didn't learn my lesson, until the third one, I finally got it right. And I was finally actually relatively successful according to what my standards were at that time. Right. And so, but once I became successful, things came along with that. Like I got a little flashy and I was still in the hood. So my house got broken into. So I decided I don't want to live here anymore. Let me get out of my hometown. So kind of sold out of the business, used some of those funds. I just sold some contracts. I didn't sell the whole company yet. And so I used the funds to move down here to Florida. And then Jam Pro actually hired me as an operations manager / franchise consultant. So they hired me. And when they hired me to be an employee for them, that's when I realized I didn't want to do it anymore. But the problem was I had a non-compete in place. So the non-compete, I can't remember if it lasted 1 year or 2 years. But I knew that I got to do something. And I wasn't about to go work another job. And it was like, well, if I can't work for Jam Pro and I can't start a cleaning company because of the non-compete, well, I do got this little stuff going on the internet. I was already on YouTube. I was selling starter kits, but CBN wasn't actually a company yet. It was just kind of like me freestyling, making up stuff on the internet. And so, long story short, I came up with this crazy idea to start selling leads by piecing people's ideas together in these different Facebook groups, and I figured out how to make that work. So I put out a test trial, sold 5 leads, $500, delivered those leads, and I asked people what they thought. They said they would do it again. It was great. Everything was exactly what I said. And I said, all right, this is a business. I went and got an LLC for a Clean Business Network, and the rest was history pretty much.
Oh, nice. So you really just started off by selling leads when you moved into it. You had your starter kit. And
Yep.
now you have the CRM, you have every single thing else. So you really just started with a baseline product and then
Yep.
started adding as you started talking to more janitorial companies.
Exactly. It was like whatever they would say that they're that would distract me. Whatever they would say that they were missing, I would just add it, you know. So like because when it started with the starter kits, it was like, you know, I'm up there. First I started off, I'm on YouTube and I'm telling people how great this franchise opportunity was, right? Because that's what I knew at the time. Then as I grew, I'm like, wait a minute, you don't need that franchise. Actually, you could do it yourself and I'll help you. Here, take the starter kit. But at the time, the starter kit didn't come with like any type of course or coaching group. Now I didn't know anything about that stuff. All I knew was, oh well, franchise gave me a starter kit. I'll give you a starter kit, and then just follow my YouTube videos. But people needed more, so over time I learned. Okay, let's put a curriculum with it. You know, let's add some leads to it. Let's get software, bidding calculators. So over time, as people started to tell me what they needed, I would just kind of figure out how can I add that to compete with really honestly, the franchise opportunity. Like, what can I do to get as close to that without actually being that?
That's fair. That's fair. I agree with you on the franchise. Most people think that they have to, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of people think that it's the right way to go because they do really give you a leg up in the beginning because you go from knowing nothing to having a foundation. But then the
Exactly.
foundation comes with golden handcuffs that
Exactly.
you can't scale or grow, or you're capped out at maybe a 250, 500K.
Yep.
And they always want their little piece of a cut. And after they show you the initial stuff, they're really not showing you anything else. You're on your own to figure it out.
Exactly.
So I agree with that one 100%. Um, so let's kind of get into your YouTube channel. So you post a lot of great content. You have one of the biggest followings for people in the janitorial space on YouTube. Most people, like myself, I'm a little peasant with 1,000 people that subscribe to me. But most people are around that 1 to 5,000. You've managed to get 18,000 people. How did you get that?
Yep. And not to come across as being brash, but I just want to make sure I'm accurate. So 18,000 plus on Instagram, over 80,000 on YouTube. So how I
80,000 on YouTube.
80? Yep.
Oh my God, dude. I thought it was 18,000 on YouTube.
Yeah, but over
Holy
80.
shit.
Yeah,
Part of
yeah.
my
So
language, man. That's amazing.
right, thank you.
Dude, I'm all pumped when I hit 1,000. I was like happy with my wife. I'm like, oh, look at this. Right? You're at 80. God damn. All
right.
right.
So
Okay.
honestly, a big part of that was just being early, man. You know, it wasn't a lot of people in the space talking about it. And so and I think too one of my biggest advantages was that the few people who were talking about it, it was older white guys. And I think that, when you look at the janitorial space, like, okay, the older white guys own the companies, but who's actually out there doing the cleaning most of the time? It's usually, minorities. So it was like I think that I was able to get a huge leg up because of being a minority, one, and two, because I was early. I just was early. Like I was never that good. If you look at my content now, your stuff is better than mine. Carolyn's stuff is better. It's so many different people, right? It's Ricky, like, come on, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Ricky's
but
great.
you know what I mean? But since I got in early, I just was able to, I got lucky.
Okay. Okay. You know what? It's funny. The earlier adopters did get it, but you've managed to keep on to it. And
Yep.
like your following's only got up. So I don't think it has a lot to do with luck. I think you put the work in on it as well, too. I was at your
1000%.
conference last year, and to be brutally honest, the people there absolutely loved you. You do have a niche of minorities too, but I don't think there's any issue with that. Like you speak right to them, and to be brutally honest, they love you, and you've really helped a lot of them up. Everybody had nothing but great stuff to say to you
Thank you.
about you. I mean, so I'm really excited to go to this year. I think we're going to your hometown in Florida.
That's right. That's right.
Where is it again?
It'll be Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, Florida, and July 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, if somebody wanted to, I know people usually do this at the end of the interview, but I just felt like it flowed nice right now. So, why don't we just kind of talk about the event you have coming up right now
Yep.
and where people can get tickets?
Yep. So you can definitely get tickets by going to www.cbnconference.com. That's CBN like Clean Biz Network. So CBN.com. And you should definitely come. I mean, one, if you like Peter, you should be there because he's there, right? He'll be there and he's a sponsor and he always kills it. He killed it last year and he didn't even know he was speaking until maybe the week of, you know what I mean?
It
So,
was
but
supposed to be a fireside chat, my friend.
there you go.
And the second I was supposed to go on, you're like, I think you just got this. You just go do it by yourself. Dude,
Yep.
I literally sweated through my shirt. I was like, oh my God. So, and I still came out swinging. So I was really happy with that performance.
Yeah,
But
you killed it.
man, I'm just so grateful that you actually gave me the opportunity. But Jacksonville, Florida, you were saying the dates and you gave us the website to get it. So I hope everybody is coming down to that and you have more than a sold out place. And from what I hear, you guys are doing pretty good with it right now.
Absolutely. Tickets are going
Yeah.
great, but we want to get more people there. So make sure you're in that room.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
said, Peter will be there. He's also a sponsor as well. I'll be speaking this year finally. I'm going to stop being in my little shell and hop on
Good.
stage. And we got a few other people that you guys might know as well. So definitely get your tickets and meet us there.
Perfect. Perfect. Love that. Now, a few more questions just about your YouTube channel.
Yep.
What content do you find gets absorbed the most by your audience, which is cleaning businesses?
You know what? This is my cheat code, by the way, for anybody who want to kind of replicate me a little bit. The how to start a cleaning business. Now, that's not your demographic. You got to find that one. But what I do, all right, I'll say it this way actually. So for me, it's how to start a cleaning business. I do that video at least once every single year because every single year that video is going to do guaranteed at least 20 grand or more views. And the better I get with them, the more they do. I think my most recent one is over 80,000 or maybe it's over 100,000 views. But so I do one of those every year. And so what I would recommend to anybody that's doing YouTube is to after you made a decent amount of content, go back and look and see which videos do the best, and then just recreate those videos. So if your best video is how to generate commercial cleaning leads, make that video at least twice a year, if not more, and maybe you title it differently and tweak one little thing. Also, Jim, again, this ain't a YouTube right how to do YouTube interview, but I gotta drop it because I never get a chance to. Get TubeBuddy or some type of software like that. I think the other one is vidIQ, but I use TubeBuddy. And what I do before I title most videos is I'll type in the title of the video that I'm thinking about uploading, and I'll just put different title ideas, and they'll give me a grade on what they think that video will rank at with that title. So that's just some feedback on that question.
Interesting. So I'm really curious in the YouTube aspect of it because I feel like inside YouTube has the whole outline of really what people are looking for.
Yeah.
And you say it's the biggest one is how to start a cleaning company.
Yep.
Would you feel by the people you sell to is that's mainly your bread and butter is people who are just getting in who don't know anything, or is it people that have been in it for 5 years, trapped at 200K or whatever number, and they can't get going further?
Yeah, my bread and butter honestly is the starters. That's who I know how to talk to best. That's who I have the biggest heart for, etc. Now, that's a double-edged sword though, because obviously those are people with the least amount of money, and they're also the people who they may not always have the mindset that's required to win in this space, and then also it kind of keeps me down, right? Because when you're talking to starters, you have to kind of slow yourself down a bit, and so because of that, sometimes I kind of limit myself from ascending because I'm so busy trying to stay relatable. So it's a double-edged sword, but I think definitely my biggest draw is definitely the starters. But obviously, I have some products for the people that's still around, but and that's definitely great revenue, right? But because those tickets are higher, those products are higher ticket. But I think a lot of them too, they hear me do so much of the starter content that they'll assume that, well, I can't help them too. So there's that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think me and you have went after completely different.
Yep.
I literally talk 5-10 million plus.
Yeah.
And I don't talk a lot of starter. And I've recently just started doing coachings like 3 months ago. I honestly started doing the YouTube videos, and I was like, man, I'll hand out free coachings and I'll mention it on my videos.
Yep.
And then I put a link in it. And then in 1 week, all of a sudden I had 15 coachings. And I was like, okay, this is actually something that people really do want. I didn't think I was going to get anything. And now every week I spend a day a week just helping out people for free. And the amount of just different people I see, but with the same problems, just depending at where they're at in their journey, is so interesting to me. And so many people are just absolutely stuck in inaction.
Yep.
They don't know what to do. So because they feel they don't know what to do, it completely stops them from trying anything. And they're so uncertain about themselves that even when they do try something and they fail at the beginning, which everybody fails at the beginning of trying a new skill set out, they immediately jump to, oh, this doesn't work. And then they switch to, maybe it's residential cleaning I'll do, or maybe it's commercial cleaning I'll do from residential. Have you found that there's a lot of flip-flopping when you're doing these with people?
1,000%. And I always try to get them to just focus. It all works. It all works. You just got to work. So pick, if this is what you want to do, lock in on it and just focus. You know what I mean? But 1,000%, I see that all the time.
Okay. So, I'm glad that you see that as well too. If you can give the biggest piece of advice to somebody who just was stuck in inaction due to the fact that they don't think they know what they're doing, what would you tell them?
One, if you think that you don't know what you're doing, you probably don't. So don't be afraid to hire a coach.
Still don't
You
know
know what I mean? So don't be afraid to hire a coach. And I hate for that to be my first thing to lead with, because I always hated it when other people said it, right? I was too
100%.
cheap to pay a coach. And then it's like, well, that's why I also did everything the hard way. And I bumped my head so many times and couldn't get past. I got stuck, right? And so actually I'm kind of still stuck, if I'm honest with you. So I need to hire a coach, right? But you should do it. You know what I mean? And that would be my first thing I would say. And then also just look at your habits. Like what got you to this point is probably not going to get you to the next point. So you got to do something different. And like, I mean, this goes back to what I'm saying is you need to find people who have gotten past that point and get around those people more often. That would be my real main advice to them.
Okay. You know what? I absolutely love that. I'm with you. When I didn't coach people, I always told people to get a coach. Now that I'm coaching people, I feel like me saying that peddles me, which is really not what I'm trying to do. I really just want them to succeed. So I feel it's like, oh yeah, sure. Like, you're just going to try to get me to buy your service,
you to win,
there, right?
That's right. We're trying to get you to win.
Absolutely. So sorry, my phone just went off there. All I do is win,
Right.
So, okay. What was, I don't know, the lowest point in your business journey, and how did you mentally put yourself, out of it or get out of it?
I think the lowest point that comes first thing in mind was when the house got broken in, as I was speaking on earlier. And right before that, my cars got repoed as well. Actually, right after, I can't remember, but it was right around the exact same time within the same month. One car got repoed. The other one, the engine blew, and the warranty had just run out, so we couldn't get that fixed because the fix that was worth more than what the hell the car cost that I owed left on it. And so both cars basically got repoed. The house got broken in, and I had just sold all of those contracts that I was said I sold as well. Oh, and one of my rental properties, the foundation had needed replacement. So all of the money that I made selling off of those accounts, I actually had to spend it on that house. And actually, I forgot Jan Pro actually paid for me to move to Florida. So I misspoke earlier. But long story short, all of that happened all at once. Then I'm this YouTube guy telling people how to, get a better life, and you don't have to settle for these jobs. Meanwhile, I'm over here going through hell. And so, long story short, it was like I took a job. So don't be scared to take a job if you got to, right? To do what you got to do to get you to the next level. But be clear, I actually took that job more for the experience than the money. But taking it definitely helped me financially for sure. So, but yeah, that was probably the toughest time. It was like, and still trying to motivate other people keep a smile, keep it together. And it's not like I was trying to, what we would say, front, pretend like I was all, it's not that I'm pretending, but it's just, I understand I'm responsible. Like, I understand what my responsibility is. If I quit, that's going to give people, a reason to think that they can quit too. So like, I know I got to keep pushing because so many other people that I'm responsible for, and they're looking up to me to keep going. So I refused. So we got through that.
I actually have something to say on that. The quote unquote imposter syndrome is what you were kind of talking about, right?
Yep.
I struggled with it for like a very long time. And, I go to your events or I go speak at Ricky's or I would talk to people and I'd be like, oh, yeah, dude, I just feel like a phony. And people would tell me, they're like, what are you talking about? You have I
Yep.
literally had everything that
Yep.
people wanted within the forms of a company, children, fitness, all of it. And I was like, yeah, I just felt that way.
Yep.
And the best way I overcame it was looking at it like, I'm not I'm not sitting back and preaching. I'm just documenting my journey.
Yep.
And as I document my journey through this, there will be things where I change my mind on because I've grown and seen it from a different angle. And when I looked at it like documenting a journey, it just felt more like I was showing parts of my life to the world. And as I go through to get to where I'm trying to go versus look at me, I'm the best person out there and everybody should pay attention at me.
There you go.
So I would highly recommend people look at that and use it maybe as a frame if they're struggling for the same thing, especially for newer companies when you're going in to do your first walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to do your first walkthroughs and you're like, I don't have any accounts. Like, I don't even know really what I'm doing here. Like, should I be going in and just getting it? Why would you give it to me? Just look at it like, man, this is just your journey that you're going on and you're just trying to figure out how to do it. You're not going in trying to say you're the best at everything.
1,000%. I gotta piggyback on that real quick.
Dude,
That also is one of my pieces of my secret sauce, by the way, for being able to last this long consistently, is that just carry it as if you're just documenting the journey. It's not, I'm your guru and I know it all. It's, listen, well, so far, based on my experience, this is what I think, or this is what I know. But it's never my way is the way and I'm the guy and forget everybody else. Never that. Because at the end of the day, it's just not true. You know what I mean? But 1,000% that. And I think people relate to you more when you show that you're human. You know what I mean? And so
for sure.
I had to piggyback that. That was a great point.
Yeah, man, I had an ego for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, my ego was like, I went on like a 10-year string where everything I touched turned to gold.
Yeah.
Fitness, relationship, kids, my company, like, I mean, everything. And then my ego got too big. And then I went on like a 4-year stint where everything I touched melted. Like, I couldn't do anything right. And it wasn't like, oh, I had a rough month. It was like 4 years where I was like, man, dude, nothing I could do. I had to drop the ego and just go, all right, I'm just going through here, trying to figure everything out again. And as I did that, I just got better and better and better. And it's no more, I know everything. It's more, this is my personal ethos and how I want to live my life. I'll give you my opinion on it. And what you do is on you. And it's made my life a lot simpler.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. Dude, I love that little back and forth banter there. We'll go on to the next question. What personal belief or mindset shift changed your business results the most?
The most. Everything's my fault. That was probably the biggest one because I stopped looking at, all of the things that's happening to me and giving myself excuses and just trying to always find a way to figure out, well, what could I have done better? How can I make this situation better? Now, over time, I have learned after doing that for this damn long, right? After being that way for so long, after a while, I have learned to start giving myself some grace because sometimes I drive myself crazy trying to, perfect everything and always looking at how I'm always at fault. Because sometimes it's really not your fault. But I still just try to say, well, even if it wasn't my faults per se of why something happened, it's like, well, what could I have done to help prevent that bad thing to happen, or at least change the outcome or affect it in some sort of way? But that was definitely like the biggest thing for sure as far as mindset. And just to add another one, business side and just business only, just scaling, like understanding what scaling really means and making sure that you understand that don't trade your time for money and don't work for money, work for experience. I mean, obviously, if you got a temporary work for some money, then you do what you got to do. But yeah, definitely work for experience and always look to scale. Like look to see how can we put software or other people in place to do these particular tasks so I can go move on to some more elevated tasks to help us move forward.
Honestly, I love that. Accountability is probably the cornerstone of every successful entrepreneur. But to get there, it takes a long time,
That's
right? I'm in the same camp as you. As I blame myself for everything.
yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't even matter if it wasn't my fault. I'm like, I put
Right.
myself there,
Yep.
right? Like, so whatever. I'm here now. So regardless of it was my decision or somebody else did it, I have to get out of it.
Facts.
So I might as well just take the lumps and move forward, and then just not put myself there again.
There you go.
And then the other thing you said was scaling.
Yep.
And really making sure that you implement systems to help
Yep.
you kind of move forward in your company. Like, what systems do you find work the best to help janitorial companies move forward in their in their journey?
Man, CRM number one. CRM, any type of automation tools you can get. Like just recently, like we set up an automation to where not only will we just email somebody. Well, this isn't necessarily janitorial, but it's close. Hopefully, somebody can get something from this. But for me, right, with my lead generation service, we would only just send out an email, and then we started sending out two emails to your main email, and then send us a backup email. And so we would send out leads to people, and then you get the email automatically generated, right? But it was like, you know what? Some people are still saying they didn't see it in their inbox for that reason, and we get it. Emails can go to spam, right? So now instead, what we do is we also send out a text, and then not only do we not send out a text for the appointment, but right after that, we're sending out, how did it go? Put a few days wait time in it. How did it go? How was the walkthrough? Then after that, if it was good, give us a survey. And if you gave us a good survey, give us a Google review, right? And then it's also, hey, buy some more leads. It went well that time. Let's keep the momentum going. So we got all of this stuff automated, and it's all in the CRM, and then it's all coming to my phone. So at any time during that conversation, I can also jump in between the automations and even add even more. So that would be the number one thing, because you'll be surprised. Like a lot of, all right, to bring it back to to cleaning businesses, you'd be surprised how many customers you can save just by having a great relationship. You know what I mean? It's like your
Sure.
cleaning might be a C, I mean C plus, right? But if you got a great relationship, okay, well they'll string you, they'll wait for you and build with you until you can start to get that C to a C plus, B minus, B plus level, and they'll talk you through what's wrong. Versus if you don't have that communication lined up, if you're not tracking every conversation in a CRM, then it's like, all right, AJ don't care. I'm going to go get some quotes. And they're not telling you anything.
Totally.
All you know is there's a letter in the mail or email came through. Yeah, you got 30 days, get your shit, you out of here. You know what I mean? So that was my number one tool for sure, is the CRM, and just staying on top of it, setting up these automations, staying in constant communication with your clients.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic having a great CRM, even like invoicing, automated sending it.
Yep.
Like, you could do all these things that just save you a buttload of time. Let's go to the next question. How do you train people to think like owners, not just workers, in their business?
That is great. So basically, it's like, how do you basically get them to be entrepreneurs instead of entrepreneurs, right? And
Sure. Yeah.
so I think you give them what you want. This is what I do. So I give them what I want done, list of things, and I'll give them like a guide on how to do it. But I make sure they understand that they got free reign. If you see a better way on how to do this, show me, and let's look at it. And if I think it's better, and we can, foot the bill or make the adjustments, and it's not throwing the whole process off, absolutely, let's change it. And then you're getting praised. I'm going to praise you in front of the whole company, and we're going to, make you feel special, and that gives you a sense of ownership, a sense of what's empowerment. You know what I mean? And so now he's like, this is my thing, and I feel great about it. So a lot of stuff like that, man. Just giving people freedom, giving people like, listen, if you finish these tasks, I'm not going to micromanage you. If you want to go home early, go home early. You know what I mean? But treat it like it's yours. And then also, if we can find any way that we can find a way to increase their pay structure, right? Some type of commission where it's like based on performance type of deal, because that's how we get paid, right? The better the company does, the better the owner can get a little bit more money if you want to get a bonus or whatever the case may be, right? So it's like try to give them things on a miniature scale that we have to deal with. They're just dealing with it on a small scale pretty much and giving them the praise, because a lot of times recognition goes further than money. You know what I mean? So making sure you always constantly recognize them and just giving them that freedom to think and do things on their own.
You know what? I absolutely love it. Our Alliance E program is great for that because our people are independent business owners within a corporate business structure to help them succeed. And the more freedom we give them, the better.
Yeah.
The biggest thing we have to do is ensure that we're bringing people on that already have that mindset,
There you go.
right? Because if we bring on people that have an employee mindset and they don't want to have that mindset, very, very difficult to get them there. Very difficult. Even within our own employees, within our company, it's, we incentivize with money. That is how our company culture is. Don't get me wrong. We do praises, we do these things, but money is the driving motivator. And when you bring somebody on whose money is not a driving motivator for them, and then the culture is set around money, which is the motivator, it creates a giant disconnect between what we need to get done and what is actually getting done. So I love it. That's just my 2 cents with it.
No, and I agree with those 2 cents. As a matter of fact, that really should have been my answer, which was you don't really teach them to think like us. You gotta find them from the beginning. You know what I mean? It's like that's my company culture, what I kind of talked to you about. But really, that's the answer. It's like you find them from the interview process from the beginning. They already got to have it, and that's even with the coaching side of things. The people who successful that come through the program is the people who you got to have it. I'm not saying you can't 100%. Grow to develop that, but you really got to have it. Either you want it or you don't.
Yeah, I've done a lot of coachings now, and I've actually only taken on 6 clients. I think I've had like 30-ish people try to pay me money, and I said no to majority of them because I only think I can help people in 2 scenarios. One is they have no other options. They absolutely have to make this work or they'll lose everything.
Yeah.
So there is this like external motivator that's driving them. And then the other one is the people that are like, I'm just out there trying everything. I just need a guide to just push me and do it. And they're already taking mass amounts of action. Those 2 people will help.
Yeah.
The people in between, which are, I don't know, we'll see if it works for me. I want to make sure that this is just easier so I can get more. I can't work with those people. It's okay if you want to be it, but like I can't because as a coach, I want to make sure everybody I coach is very successful. And so far, the people that we've brought on have all made their money back from what they paid me in coaching within the first 30 days.
Nice.
So, and I want to keep that trend going, and I don't want to sell people that I know are not going to implement what I'm giving them. So that's the 2 requisites. You have to have one or the other in order for me to take you on. And then it's easy. Then it's just like, here's a path, do this. And then we just email back and forth and then it's done.
Yeah.
So it's been great. It's been really, really good. Now, I know you don't do cold calling, but you have people do cold calling for you, correct? Yep. What's one cold calling or sales strategy you believe most people have overlooked or are doing wrong?
Let's see. Number 1, they don't speak to the right person. Make sure you're actually speaking to the decision maker in the first place. If you just get right into your spiel with the very first person that picks up the phone, you're probably wasting your time. So make sure you're talking to the right person. That was too quick, so I want to give you a little bit more. Right. So another tip I'll give
100% though.
It's close. Like a lot of times we don't ask for the close. And I've seen situations where, all right, I'll give you one of my most recent examples with one of my few coaching clients. I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching, but I have some that buy into a high tier program to get me one-on-one. And the recent one, he he has his deal. He's trying to close it. And I think the last conversation, the guy said, yeah, we're definitely going to go with you, but we're just waiting on corporate to give us the final date. And then we're going to give the other company 30 days notice, but we're pretty sure we're going to start on the 7th. He was like, okay, thanks. Looking forward to it. And I said, no, 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 no. You say thanks. Great, but right after that, we need to, okay, well, let's go ahead and get a head start on things. Let me send you over, right? Let's get this contract signed now. Let's also give you my W-9. Let's also give you my insurance, right? All of the stuff that you know that they're going to need anyway. Let's expedite. Let's do that now. You know what I mean? And then it's like close it. You know what I mean? Get that contract signed. I don't give a damn if we start in 90 days. Just sign this contract so that I can officially say that this deal is closed. So that's the other thing is people got to learn how to actually close. And so I'm not a sales expert. So it's been harder for me to try to like help in that department. However, clearly I know enough, right, to close a deal. And I think that's what a
100%.
lot of people struggle with that. It's like talking to the right person and actually just closing the deal and not following up. How could I not? How could I forget that? Sorry. Following
Yeah.
up. Like people are so afraid to follow up. Like, gosh, like they got your money. You know what I mean? They got your money. I say that, I'm thinking Grant Cardone in my head. That's my guy. But
Mhm.
they got your money, man. Go get your money and close that deal. Like for real, because like you so busy worrying about being a pest to them, you don't want to worry them to death and all of that. But it's like, listen, do you want to feed your family or not? You know what I mean? Close that
Yeah.
deal. Let them tell you when to stop calling. Don't just guess. You know what I mean? Even with pricing, don't just assume, oh, they didn't choose me because I was priced too high. You might have been priced too low. You have no idea until you ask. So make sure you ask those questions. All right, I gave you a little bit too much there, but hopefully it
No,
helped.
no, that's perfect. That's absolutely fantastic. I would say for sure follow up. I think people have the wrong idea of what follow up is meant for.
Mm,
When you go on the walkthrough and then you deliver the quote, whether you do it on site or you email it afterwards, you should have a meeting set up with them to confirm if they're moving forward with you or not.
right.
Right. So that means you go in there, sit down with them again,
Yep.
or you have a screen share meeting like this to go over the proposal with them. So you've already pre-booked the next meeting. So it's bam, fam, book a meeting from a meeting. Right. So you always have the next one lined up until they make a decision. And then in between, what you're doing is doing a TOMA campaign, which is top of mind awareness. You are sending information as a give. We'll send audiobooks. We'll send information from our company. It's nothing to sell. We're not asking them to move forward. We're reminding them that we exist until the meetings happen.
That
And most people, when they follow up, what they end up doing is they're like, okay, I sent the proposal and it's the same call every time. Hey, have you seen our proposal and are you ready to make a decision? Hey, have you seen our proposal and you're ready to make a decision? And then after the third time, they're like, well, the client won't answer my call anymore. I'm like, if you had a company calling you saying the exact same thing every time, would you answer the phone call?
right.
No, you wouldn't. So,
Right.
like, you have to switch up this variable. You have to make them want to answer the phone call and open the email.
And that's amazing. I love that advice right there.
Yeah. So that's took me a very, very long time to figure out. So why don't we kind of get into wrapping this up here? Tell me a little bit more about your event that you have going on, what type of companies should come out to it, and let the audience know.
Yeah, so again, it will be at Jacksonville, Florida, July 23rd through the 25th. It is the Clean Biz Network Conference. And honestly, I think any type of company, really any service business company should be there, but I can't, yeah, that's really what it is. But I'll stick with us for now, right? Because we'll all get some value from it. It's mostly translatable. But I think big or small, no matter the size. I think if you're just getting started, actually, if you haven't even started yet, you're just thinking about starting a business, come because we got people that's just in front of you that can help you better than anybody else. If you're already in business and you're maybe doing, $5 grand a month, come because we got people doing 10 grand a month that can help you get to that level. If you're doing 10 and you want to do 30, we got people doing that. If you're doing 100 a month and you want to do 200 a month, come, we got people doing that. So it's like, it's really for all sizes. And then you might walk away with a subcontracting opportunity. You might walk away with a prime contracting opportunity. You just never know because it's such a diverse group. It stretches so wide. I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet there. I actually just got off a meeting with ADP, And even like companies that's not in the industry but could be of service will be there probably as vendors as well. So or as sponsors. So make sure you come and show up, pull up. Don't be scared. Open your mouth. Everybody's approachable. As you can see with Peter, like open book. Always sharing information on wealth and knowledge. Myself, I can't wait to help. That's all. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? So just like whatever stage in business that you're in, you should definitely be there. Meet us there. Meet us in person. Go to www.cbnconference.com. Get your tickets.
Perfect. www.cbnconference.com. That's where you get your tickets. And the days are?
July 23rd through the 25th.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything you want to say in wrapping this up?
Number one, always thank you again. It was fun, right? We should do this as much as we can because it's always fun.
Yeah.
Every time we talk, I
Love
get
it.
something out of it as well. And just thank you again. Thank you everybody for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever you're doing, do that. Make sure you lock in with Peter. I mean, y'all seen the content already. You already know what it is. So now get as much as you can while he's giving it. And then also check me out if you can. I'm AJ Simmons on YouTube, AJ Simmons online, everywhere else. And that's it. Thank you.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much, AJ, for coming on. And we hope everybody comes out and sees your event, and I get to meet everybody from my channel as well, too.
That's right. Let's do it.
Perfect. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.